Welcome back, everybody, to more CSGO news out there. A pretty big story in general esports as well as Complexity CEO now has resurfaced allegations. Now, I want to take this very serious, guys. The topic we're talking about today are not to be taken lightheartedly, and also to note as well, these allegations resurfacing from what could be back to the 1.6 CSGO days with former players over 10 years ago. These stories are now resurfacing thanks to current Lazarus coach. That's going to be FroD, also Rushby Media and Ryan's podcast. Link down below for all of you guys. A great podcast with the current Lazarus coach. He's had several stints inside CSGO himself, that being FroD. Ryan did interview him as well, and some very interesting details were released. So I will reveal that podcast and link it down below for all of you guys. But again, a very serious story here as allegations have resurfaced about potential not only being drunk around players, but also physical abuse towards his players, that being current Complexity CEO Jason Lake. And again, these allegations stemming back from what could be over 10 years ago. So take that for what it is, guys. I'm going to play for you the clip, though, that FroD did talk about back in the 1.6 days of what he experienced alongside Jason Lake.
Kind of just Jason Lake being kind of like a really aggressive org owner, just like bringing his hardcore football mentality into like a bunch of young kids, like 16, 17, 18 years old, like, you know, being like really like drunk around us. And even someone like, yeah, it was pretty like rough because like even like Warden, he got cut a few times from our team, just like asking him to like not, you know, be so aggressive. Like we've practiced all day long. He'd come on our IRC channel and want us to like scrim at like 1 a.m. You know, we figured that we as a unit would like bound together and got stronger more as the outside circumstances got more difficult for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So are you saying like drunk with power or like?
No, like drunk with alcohol, like.
And he would call you up and make you do these things.
Yeah, like he'd like spam us and like make us play and like.
And these kind of stories, they put me in a very strange boat. I respect both sides here. I respect all three sides, right? Ryan makes great stuff. His podcast is great in kind of revealing these kind of things. But when these kind of things are revealed about someone you also respect, that being Jason Lake, and I do, of course, respect the opinion of FroD. I don't presume him to be a liar here. These are resurfaced allegations from what could be a long time ago, but they are very serious allegations that should be talked about, especially not so much if he was drunk around his players. We've actually had Jason talk about this in a former Hex podcast. I will also link down below for all you guys. I kind of scrounged back up through yesterday my searching of all this stuff. He's talked about his problems before. He's talked about his struggles with depression as well as drinking before, and the fact that he's also quit drinking as well. It means a great sign of improvement from what formerly was, you know, a long time ago, and what is now the current Jason Lake. There certainly has been a change.
Pretty comfortable life to chasing the esports dream and lost everything. We had to move into this little itty bitty tiny house. We had no money. I was like scrambling, just trying to figure out, you know, what to do to put food on the table. And it was like, man, you know, a lot of people hear about the esports success stories and about, the people that have done great things like you and that really succeeded, and that's important. But, you know, for every success story, you know, there's people that have gone through some shit, right? Yep. And that was a real low point in my life. I struggled a lot with depression and my mental health, and just the fact that I had shipwrecked, not just my life like you're talking about. I'd shipwrecked my family. I just led my organization. I've led the fans. I've led well-intentioned people saying this thing is going to be big, like we're going to do it big, it's going to be awesome. And once you get behind the closed doors and you start to really learn what's going on, I'm like, and you're already in. I don't know. It was a really dark part of my life.
Yeah, no, I bet,
It was before I quit drinking, man. I drank the whole bottle. I was not in a good place.
But even with that being said, if he brought his football or sports mentality kind of to a rougher sense to the players, and if that is true, the allegations that then were actually put forth on Twitter by FroD again in text, he does allege that Jason Lake actually apparently slapped a player twice, that being Haynes, a former 1.6 player, actually played alongside the current Complexity coach, that being Warden. So we'll see if they have other developments on this story. If it is true, again, I don't presume FroD to be a liar here. Why bring this up now, though? I'm glad he is, right? I'm glad he's coming forward. It's a great thing to actually bring these things to light, but it's definitely a very dangerous thing to bring to light, and something I'm very sensitive about talking about, because yes, I respect Ryan. He does great work bringing this stuff to light. I respect FroD and his opinion coming forward as well. I'm sure he's telling the truth, and I greatly respect Jason Lake as well. these are just not really great stories to shed light on sometimes. It sucks. Because with fame, with popularity, with all the positive light around Jason Lake, and again, I do respect this man very much so, especially with his latest tweets, about offering competitive salaries, the highest salaries and buyouts of tier 1 players out there. We can expect roster and organizational changes, and I'm sure he is a changed man. We already know he has quit drinking, but with these allegations surfacing, we do need to take them seriously, and I assume he has changed his ways ever since then. We will see if he responds about this, guys. Jason Lake now accused of apparently physically being aggressive towards his former players many years ago. We'll see if that story does come to light again. I just felt the need to share it with all of you guys and maybe express your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, especially in videos like this, it does suck to cover, but I feel as if I am almost obligated to bring this stuff to light. I respect Jason very much. Great work by Ryan B. The podcast will be linked down below for all of you guys. I'll be back here sometime soon breaking down other esports or CSGO news. Until next time, guys, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you soon.